This morning on Rosson Reports, what some experts call a huge deception by the country's biggest retailers, advertising one thing but selling you something else. Today, national investigative correspondent Jeff Rosson is here with more on all that. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Look, most of the time I'm standing here talking about companies advertising products as real but selling you fakes. This morning, something totally new. Some of the country's biggest stores selling you what they're calling faux fur, like this coat right here, but it's actually made from real animals. Believe it or not, it's sometimes cheaper for the stores to use real animal hair than manufacture a fake. So many of you are walking around right now thinking you're supporting animal rights wearing faux fur, but you're in for a big surprise. We're braving the cold and the crowds on a holiday shopping spree to find that perfect gift. On our list, designer boots, cozy sweaters, and trendy jackets. All of them trimmed with faux fur.
Right here, this says faux fur.
Faux, or fake fur, is more popular than ever.
We're all for the fake fur. We love it.
A recent study showing nearly 100 million Americans think buying and wearing real fur is morally wrong.
I don't see the point killing an animal for that kind of money. And just when you can get, a fake one, looks just as good and it's warm.
So retailers are advertising faux fur by the rackfuls this season. But our Rosson Reports investigation has uncovered a secret.
It's actually fur from a rabbit.
A rabbit? That's right, this fake fur isn't fake at all. At the malls and online, we found some of the biggest retailers, including Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom Rack, Belk, Jackety, and Gilt Group, proudly advertising all these items as faux fur. We bought them all, suspecting some could be real. 3 jackets, 1 sweater, and a pair of boots. They all feel pretty soft. I mean, this one's a little coarser than this one, but I can't tell the difference what's real and what's fake here. So we sent the items to Microtrace Labs in Chicago, where scientists tested the hairs using powerful microscopes. We bought this sweater at Nordstrom Rack, and you can see that the sleeves have what they're calling faux fur on the trim. What is it?
It's actually rabbit fur that's been dyed.
Yup, a furry little rabbit. The customer would have no idea this is rabbit.
Not unless they took a look at it under the microscope.
And how about this Michael Kors jacket we bought from Belk department store? What's confusing about this coat is online it's advertised as faux fur, fake fur, but when you get the actual coat in the mail, it says real animal fur on the tag. So you tested it, which is it?
It's real animal fur from a coyote.
The customer didn't want to support animal cruelty, and yet they're doing it and not even knowing.
Pierre Grabowski calls it an outrageous deception. He runs the Fur Free campaign for the Humane Society of the United States. Why are these companies even going to the trouble of getting real fur and selling it as faux? Why not just sell the faux fur?
Well, actually, some of the good faux furs can be more expensive to use when making jackets or other garments than low-quality animal fur. They may use animal fur just because it's cheaper.
But it's not just rabbits or coyotes. Check out these 2 coats from the popular brand Jackety.
Well, it's actually real fur. It's from an animal called a raccoon dog.
Raccoon dogs, and don't be fooled by the name. They're not raccoons. They're wild members of the dog family, perhaps being worn right now by unsuspecting customers. But the biggest offender of all, Neiman Marcus.
Contains faux fur.
2 different employees told us these Aquatalia boots are trimmed with faux fur.
Contains faux fur. 55% polyester, 45% acrylic.
And it's advertised online the same way. You tested it. What is this really?
Well, it's actually real rabbit hair.
Yes, more rabbit. And believe it or not, Neiman Marcus has been caught doing this before. Just last year, the Federal Trade Commission charged the retailer for selling real fur as fake. Neiman Marcus settled and promised not to do it. This time, they blamed their vendor, Aquatalia, for mislabeling the boots. Aquatalia telling NBC News it was an inadvertent error.
They have to fix the problem. They're deceiving their own customers when they do this, and they're deceiving the American public.
This morning, our investigation is already getting results. Neiman Marcus has removed these boots that I have here on the table right now, guys, that we showed in that report from all their stores and online. When we contacted the other companies, they all apologized for the errors, promised to step up their training, even offering refunds to any of you watching right now concerned that you bought one of these items and you wanted it to be faux and it's made of real animals. By the way, a lot of you probably wondering, how do I tell at home if it's faux or real? I have a web extra that I actually taped, and it's online right now, today.com. Some easy do-at-home tips you can do right now before you leave in the morning.
Jeff,
to check.
Was it hard for you to find these, or were they everywhere?
Yeah, they're everywhere. I mean, you see the amount of stores. I mean, these are some of the biggest stores
so
that we found them.
You didn't have to hunt.
No, you didn't have to hunt that hard.
Yeah. All right.
How do we know you're real?
I think you know the answer.
All right.
Sadly.
Okay, so how can you tell a faux fur from real animal fur? Right on this table here, we have a fake fur and the real animal fur, and I actually do not know which is which. You feel both. This one feels softer, so I would guess this one is the real one.
That's wrong. This is actually the real one. That's the fake one. And that's actually one of the first things to know is that you can't tell by feel, because the new fake fur is actually softer than some of the real fur.
All right, so what can you do?
All right, so don't go by feel and don't go by color, because you can dye it any color you want. So the first thing you want to do is look at the tips of the hairs. And if you see that the tips taper to a fine point, like a cat's whisker or a sewing needle or a sharpened pencil, that's animal fur.
So this is real, and you can see it comes right to the tip.
It's going to go to a fine point just like that.
Okay.
Now, fake fur is actually made from different types of plastic, and it's extruded out and then cut straight across.
Like with a scissor, you can kind of see that.
If you look at these very close, each of these hairs will be cut straight across.
Which is what it looks like here. So you can tell this is fake because it's not coming to a fine point.
The only caveat is some real fur is actually sheared, and that could be, but if you see tapering, that means it's real. If not, probably fake, but it could be real.
All right, now there's something that's really cool that's called the burn test.
Right.
So what do you do?
All right, so the burn test is basically you're going to burn a few hairs of the sample. You don't know whether it's real or fake, and if it smells like human hair burning, which we all know that smells like, that means it's animal fur.
So we know that from blow dryers and...
So we're just going to take a little bit of our unknown sample, move it away from anything else flammable.
Put it in tweezers.
Yep. And then we're going to light it with a cigarette lighter. Let it go out and then smell it.
Yeah, it smells like human hair.
Right. It's that very distinct
burning hair smell.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like anything else.
So animal hair smells like human hair when it's burned.
Right.
Okay.
Whereas fake fur is going to be one of a couple different types of plastics. They'll each smell a little bit different, but none of them will smell at all like human hair.
Okay.
And they'll have a very distinct chemical smell.
Okay, let's see.
So we're going to burn.
So the animal hair smelled like human hair burning.
That's right. Let that go out.
It's disgusting. It smells like chemicals.
Right. It's a very, very sweet, kind of sickly sweet
like chemicals.
Smell.
Like plastic.
Completely different from the smell of burning animal hair.
And you do that once you buy the coat, and you can always return it if you didn't get what you wanted.
If you already own the coat, you can do the burn test. Again, only if you're a very careful adult.
Then why are we doing it?
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, Pierre, and hope that helps.